Hello everyone, and welcome back to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. Wow, it's still really loud. Oh yeah, it's reset the volume. So this is the first time I'm recording after reinstalling Windows, which is why some of the sounds might be a little off. Okay. It's a little better, maybe a little too quiet. Just let me know what you think. It was a little bit of an effort getting it to run again at all. Downgrading my graphics drivers. I made an update video about it. Anyway, sad consequence is that in areas where there's grass on the ground, because of the way the textures now are rendered, my characters tend to be without legs, essentially. There is sadly nothing I can really do about it. I've tried. This is one of the things that would supposedly be fixed by updating my drivers again, except then he cannot launch the game at all. Well, he can launch it and get as far as the main menu, but that's about it. So,
yes. What can I do? Yes.
Still not opening the map with a tab. I know. Okay. So unfortunately there's a little bit of an ugliness going on now. I hope you can forgive me for that. I'll see if I can somehow manage to fix it, but really there's no guarantee. Supposedly it only happens in certain areas where there's grass on the ground, which isn't everywhere, so maybe. Anyway, oh, I should also very quickly, sorry about that, I know it kind of breaks immersion a little bit, but need to make sure that my quick save and quick load are set to the correct buttons again. So quick load I want to be F9 and quick save I want to be F5. Okay. Let me just make sure you actually saved that. The last time I did it, I think it was okay, but before that, I know one time, maybe in a different game, I changed the settings, clicked OK, and he just reverted anyway. Okay, quick save F9, quick load. Quick save F5, quick load F9, okay. That should be correct. And there we go. We sighted an enemy, a Kinrath. Okay, that's not too bad. At least this way we get a nice image of how the textures are actually behaving when we walk through them. Yeah. Do the rest of my party, yeah, they want to join. Nice.
There.
And that, by the way, was Joe Lee doing some sort of force move where he apparently traps the enemy in a vortex. Okay. I'm hoping I can do these without buffing myself every single time. Would be nice, because the night speed thing is sometimes a little annoying. Oh, you've still got friends over there. Interesting.
I still got it.
The Force fights with me! So be it!
And there's one more back there, but supposedly that one does not get instantly attacked by the rest of my party. I think 2 heals. Yeah, the rest of the party is fine again. Okay, we don't automatically attack that one back there. The leg thing is a little annoying, but yeah. We'll see if it's as bad in areas without grass, and then we'll see if I have to do something about it. Okay, the map seems to cycle back on itself here, so this will just lead me back to where I came from. There's more of these little monkey guys here, which, these Tach guys. They don't seem to be much of a threat, so I'll just do my usual thing and explore a little bit. And I'll try to speak more clearly, as that is actually one of the reasons I got into LPing, aside from the way that it changes how I play, is that I wanted to learn to speak a little more fluently and more understandably. And I think I'm actually falling back on old habits and speaking very quickly and very difficult to understand, in a very difficult to understand way. Okay, how about a bit of a heal after you've changed standard attacks for some reason? Hey.
Poison. I can feel it. The Force fights with me!
We get 300 XP per kill from these guys. So that's actually pushing the levels very, very quickly. I mean, Jolie and Bastila need about 10,000 more, which is a fair amount, but I actually only need about 1,600-ish. So not that much. Maybe 2 more fights against these groups of Kinrath. I don't know. Oh, a group. One of them rather decided to appear behind me. Okay. I know the texture thing didn't happen last time, but the funny thing is, I mean, I guess I'm running a different driver, maybe? It's a slightly different version than it used to be before. Might be the case, I'm not sure. I'll see if I can find sort of an intermediate driver where the game works, but the grass is fine. Okay, over here we have a Mandalorian swoop. And the Wookiee told us about sort of guys in armor wearing strange helmets attacking him, and I think that would be Mandalorians. And they only attack once we remove our weapons, I believe. Okay, it's got a signal device on it. Swoop bike shows signs of recent use as it is missing its signal device. One of the Mandalorians must have taken it to collect data. Okay, so we can't do anything here. Does this one have anything? Okay, so I'm not sure if this is actually the case, but I believe if we just unequip the lightsabers, which is a little annoying, because I now have to make sure. Okay, so I have the, does it tell me the color in here somewhere? Because I don't know if this one or this one is the, yeah. Okay, so I can tell from the color which one goes to whom. Okay. I unequipped your lightsaber, now you have 2 purple ones? I don't even have 2 purple ones. So how does that work? I said none, thank you, and I said none, thank you. Did I do something wrong? Maybe. Okay. We are now carrying no weapons.
What?
Which supposedly should make the Mandalorians attack us? Hello. It's the Wookiees said they only attack if we're unarmed, but I don't know. So let's go back to the 4-18 one that I have right here. I think that's the correct one. Oh, and one of my energy shields broke. It ran out of uses basically, so I'll equip a different one. You cannot get an implant yet. Bastila, you cannot either. Bastila gets her double-bladed lightsaber thing back. And Jolie, this 2-16 one. And this 4-14 one. And he has a +2 damage bonus to those lightsabers. The UI doesn't look exactly the same as last time either, although I patched the game in exactly the same way to use widescreen. I don't know what's going on, something with the drivers, I guess. Sadly, I don't really know of a way I can fix it, so... And
you need?
Yes?
What?
You see, again, I equipped myself with a single lightsaber and he's given me 2. Which doesn't really make sense. Because I'm using a single one. That's sort of what I went with. Oh, I don't know. I may have to check what these Mandalorian things, these encounters actually require. Obviously that Wookiee in need of help, or rather in need of revenge, is something I'm interested in completing. But I don't remember exactly what's required to make them show up. And I don't remember if the game gives me any sort of advice, such as when I'm in a certain area, it... actually, let's see if the Okay, no. Shouldn't I get a... Hidden Hunters, that's the one, okay. Okay, so... Okay, he told me that I have to look where his dead comrades are. And... then I have to put away my weapons. Okay. Seems to make sense. Is anyone here proficient at using... couldn't I look at my... Here. Demolitions. Total rank 9, total rank 9, total rank 0. Okay. So if I can't do it... Sure. No one can. I don't think I can recover average plasma mines at this point. Nope. I can blow them up, but I cannot recover them. So this is apparently the star map. Unexpected. Let's first try to disable it instead of recovering it. Maybe that will work. Texture troubles. I know it looks weird, but let's see. Okay, and let's talk to the computer, because I doubt we can activate the star map just yet.
Life forms detected. Determining parameters. Initiating neural recognition.
Yes, there's the thing. Obstinate machine. I've no doubt it holds what you seek, but good luck getting it operational.
Primary neural recognition complete. Preliminary match found.
Match found? What the... It always muttered something about rejected patterns for me.
Begin socialized interface. Awaiting instruction. Greetings. This terminal has not been accessed for quite some time.
Okay, so, somehow he recognized me. Interesting. Why have you acknowledged me?
Error. Subject displays unfamiliarity to environment. Behavioral reconfiguration will be needed before access. I am sorry. I did not mean to confuse you. I will answer questions to the best of my programming limitations.
Okay, so what do you mean by behavioral reconfiguration? Wow, difficult words.
I have been programmed with a very limited field of knowledge, and I must restrict access to only those that fit my allowed pattern.
And I don't fit that pattern.
I can't say. I will try to bring forward the behavior that you need to proceed, as outlined by my programming.
That seems very helpful. Why have I been allowed access?
I can't say. Preliminary matching allows for you to be coached.
Okay, do you not know why, or are you restricted from saying?
I can't say. Likelihood of restriction by previous user, 100%.
Okay. So, what limitations have been placed in your programming?
Corruption has resulted in gaps appearing in my memory, and in that of the original installation. It could be theorized that these gaps are intentional, but I have no information on that.
So what's missing?
Error. I cannot present a non-presence. Perhaps you can ask other questions, and data corruption will become evident.
Okay, so I seek information about a star map.
Accessing. Yes, I have found a star map in original system memory. Access is restricted.
Okay, so original system memory, so the map is as old as this installation?
Error. Data regarding author of the star map is corrupted.
Okay, so maybe it's relevant that for us to know which bits of memory are corrupted. So what do I need to get access?
Your request requires additional security access. You must be made to match the parameters I have been supplied.
Okay, so how can I match them if I don't know what they are?
There are measures available. Personality profiling will verify the basic structure of your conscious mind. With that, I will determine whether you are ready to receive the star map, or can be made ready.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Information unavailable. If you have further questions, ask them now. Access will terminate with success or failure of evaluation.
Okay, so, fair enough. I guess let's give it a go.
Evaluation commencing. Result will be compared against the pattern in memory. Just act like you should. You travel with a Wookiee and have encountered complications. Hypothetical. You and this Zalbar are captured and separated. If you both remain silent, 1 year in prison for each of you. However, call Zalbar a traitor, and he will serve 5 years, while you serve none. He is offered the same deal. But if you both accuse the other, you both serve 2 years. What do? What do you trust him to do?
Okay, this is a fairly famous riddle known as the prisoner's dilemma. Ideally, we both say nothing, because that means we both get 1 year in prison, which is the ideal total outcome, because if I rat on him and he says nothing, then the total prison sentence is 5 years, which means he gets 5, I get 0, and if we both rat each other out, we both get 2 years, so that's a total of 4. So the way it works is both doing the good thing will provide the best outcome, both doing the bad thing will provide the second best outcome, and one doing bad, the other doing good will actually be the worst possible outcome in total. Now there's the one approach which sort of tries to minimize your own losses, which obviously means you would want to betray him in hopes of avoiding the worst case for yourself, which is 5 years in prison. But in the long run, the strategy that nets you the best results is actually always being nice. And then the way it's modified in computer theory usually is that after it basically gets repeated. So you do the game once, and it's a game basically. I know prison sentence such, but in its original formulation it's a game. And then you would basically, both of you would choose, not knowing what the other chooses in round 1. So either doing good or bad thing, in this case accusing or not accusing. And then the outcome gets determined, you get your prison sentence or whatever, and then it gets repeated. And so the best method is to, in the first turn, just do the nice thing, which is not accusing. And in each consecutive term, you do what the other guy has done last time. Which is a really simple process, but there is no algorithm that can beat it. Well, there might be one, but none has been found, and people have tried. There was a big competition long ago where they introduced this game, and basically instead of years of prison it was points, and you were supposed to get as few points as possible or as many as possible, and it was reversed. You get the point anyway. And they asked sort of professors and amateurs and anyone alike to provide an algorithm which basically would determine your choice. And they created all sorts of really complicated algorithms, and one algorithm that was created was the one I just described, called tit for tat, which basically says start doing the nice thing and then do whatever the guy did before. And that won the first round. So with that knowledge they said, okay, we're going to try again, but keep in mind this tit for tat thing was the one that has been winning consistently. And so they went back and provided new algorithms trying to beat that tit for tat one, and they couldn't. Even though they'd known that it had been winning last time, it still won. So I will go with option 4 because that was that is the technically best option.
Are you sure? If you turn, you risk 2 years, or none at all. If you reply on loyalty, you risk 1 year, or 5. Your loyalty is dangerous. Your companion could take the opportunity to benefit by turning on you. Zalbar's family is mired in treachery. What loyalty do they know? Your answer is incorrect.
Even though it is technically correct. Fair enough. Then I will change my answer.
A superficial change will not match the pattern in memory. You must answer truthfully, knowing the consequences. I must demand honest acceptance of the proper behavior. That is a condition of my programming.
Okay, fine. Then let's keep going. It seems like I have to not be a nice guy, but actually be a bad guy to pass this test, interestingly enough.
The previous incorrect response will be discounted. Future incorrect responses will result in rejection. Hypothetical. You are at war, deciphering an intercepted code. you learn 2 things about your enemy. A single spot in their defense will be at its weakest in 10 days, and they will attack one of your cities in 5 days. What do you do with this information? What is the most efficient course of action?
So this is another sort of... I'm not sure if it was a real thing. It's sort of a story from, I think, World War II. But I'm not certain if it's a true story. I've only heard it being referred to as a story, which might mean true or not. And that is that intelligence had gathered information. They basically cracked a German code. I think it was British intelligence. And so that allowed them to know that there was an attack planned on a certain small city. And they could evacuate the city, but that would alert the Germans to the fact that their code had been cracked. And so a future message would not be crackable because the Germans would change their code. And so the choice is basically evacuate the city, save the civilians, but you no longer know what the Germans are saying because they're changing their code. And so alternatively you sacrifice the city, assuming that there will be a bigger attack in the future. And if the Germans think their codes are still secure, because the city has not been evacuated after all, they will keep using that code. And you would then be able to, for example, decipher the message about the massive invasion of London or whatever. And that would be more valuable information, potentially more valuable than the lives lost in the bombing of the city. So, I suspect that the answer he wants me to give is sort of a ruthless disregard of the lives of others and only caring about myself, and so preparing the forces to attack the city would be best because preparing the forces to attack in 10 days, that's what I meant, would be best because it might win me the war and thus losing the city might not be as relevant. Not something I would actually do. My actual choice would probably be number 3, but I believe you'll probably want to hear number 4.
Very good. If you had moved to evacuate the city, you would have alerted the enemy to their lost codes. Ultimate victory required the deaths of the people in that city. You wisely ignored sentiment in your decision.
Yeah, and again, let's go with the evil thing and say the deaths of those people. Wow, deaths. So difficult to pronounce for me. So that would spur my forces on.
Very good reasoning. I will apply it to the rest of the evaluation. You begin to match the pattern in memory. Hypothetical. Remove the ongoing war from the previous example. Consider enemy states to be weak and remote. With no external threat, your empire stagnates. Your people become complacent and begin to question you. Same scenario as before. You discover an impending attack, but also a weakness that will come after. How do you react?
Okay. If I stop the attack, I will appear to be a hero. The question is, would it be better in the mind of that computer to let the attack happen and then retaliate, thus gaining support in a sort of revenge way instead of a defending way? I mean, saving more lives isn't really necessary because the enemy supposedly is weak and remote, so I can always strike back. Let's try letting the attack happen. I believe I can try this again anyway if I have to.
Of course you do. It makes the most strategic sense. Your people will rally beneath you against the common foe. As their eyes turn outward, your rule will strengthen. The trappings of war grant many opportunities. You have matched the pattern in memory. I recognize you, and will fulfill my designated function.
Okay, so before I go on with this, it seems relevant that he somehow recognized us, but he wanted to ask those questions to determine if I was actually the one he recognized. And the one he recognized seems to have been a fairly reckless and sort of evil dictator type, where he would sacrifice his own people for ultimate victory and things like that. So, yeah, I guess something to bear in mind, that that machine knows us, but the person it knows is actually an evil person. Okay, so give me access to the star map.
Yes, You are ready. Soon you will recognize the proper course to follow. The star map is yours. This unit has now completed its primary duty and has finished with the subject. Executing final action. Activation of star map commencing. Parameters reset. Stasis initiated. End communication.
Very interesting. That star map appears to be below the ground somehow. So why did I get dark side points? I just lied to the guy. Never mind.
Well, well, a star map. An ancient artifact of dark side power. Can't say I'm surprised. I always knew there was something funny down here. I wonder if the star map has had an effect on the evolution of the creatures here in the Shadowlands. Might explain why it's so dangerous down here. An interesting theory, but I suppose we don't have time to test it now, do we? Now that we've got what you came for, we should be heading back up to the treetops.
Well, not quite. I mean, I think we don't have to activate this. We just got what we needed, right? Yeah. Okay, we did get a level up. Again, I don't know why it gave me dark side points. Maybe there would have been a way to get access without saying the bad things? I don't know. Honestly, it sounded like the only way to go about this would be to seem like the person that the star map computer remembered. Anyway, level up. Ooh, we get an attribute point. How about strength? What's recommended, actually? Wisdom. No, strength. Skills. What's recommended? Computer use. No, of course not. We want to persuade. And powers. We could go Master Valor to give a 5-point bonus and immunity to poison. Okay, what else can we do? I mean, so far all I've done is buffing. I guess let's continue along that path and keep buffing party members and ourselves. Now, we haven't quite finished this area though. There's still those Wookiee corpses that we have to find somewhere. And I should probably... Okay, so here's a Wookiee corpse. It's kind of difficult to see with all the texturing, which is probably why I missed it the last time. So from this angle you can't see it at all. But from here it's kind of visible. Yeah, see? Wookiee corpse. So I believe now is the time we have to pack away our weapons, which means none. 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 And none. Hello, people? Okay, there we go. And now, of course, because we're not actually going to fight without weapons, that would be completely silly, we re-equip our weapons, because, well, what else would we do, right? So, how about 2 lightsabers? And I know his second lightsaber is currently set up to be strong against droids, and that's useless in this situation. I am well aware of that. Okay, Bastila, you can do a night speed. I think you have night speed as well. And I, of course, have master speed. Sure. And then I also have Master Valor.
Let's see what you got.
Has anyone died? No. Bastila has taken a bit of a beating, though. How are the Mandalorians? Still reasonably fine. How about you, Flurry, that guy? And what about you? Have I actually given you...
I'm here.
Yeah, you have power attacks. Sure. Okay. First Mandalorian should be pretty much dealt with now. Second one as well. These give noticeably less experience than the Kinrath guys. Why is it... Oh, Bastila took a hit and died. Oh well. She'll be up again in no time, and I can heal her.
I'm here.
And she can heal herself as well. There we go.
What?
I can't really see the corpses. Don't know if they left anything. that one did. A datapad number 2. And this one. Only some items, okay. And this one finally, the datapad number 1. Okay, let's check the journal. Where would that be? Hidden Hunters. No. So they are training new recruits and attacking unarmed creatures. They also have kind of camouflage generators on their swoops to further sway odds in their favor. Okay, so do I have to go back to the swoop bikes now? Knowing that they've got camouflage generators on them? And this texture thing actually makes it difficult to find the corpses. It's a little annoying. I don't believe anything. Yeah, I can't do anything here. Maybe if I kill enough Mandalorians? Maybe? Don't know. I may also have to check. Whether I can get this texture thing fixed somehow. It's a little annoying. Especially because, as you've seen, it makes it difficult to see the Wookiee corpses I'm supposed to see. Because the texture filtering isn't exactly working quite right. But as I said, if I update my drivers, it'll stop working entirely. Here's a Kinrath, so let's go for that.
Now you'll get it.
You cannot win.
Which now only gives 50 experience, so I guess I've maybe overleveled a bit. Or at least overleveled for these enemies. Okay, what I'll do now is I'll actually save the game here. And then I'll make a cut, see if I can't get these textures working right. It's a little more annoying than I thought. And I'll see you next time. So I hope you enjoyed, and bye bye.